Hello, how are you? Nice
Doing good.
finally meeting you. How are you
Yeah,
today?
I'm great. Yeah, doing good. Snowing here. It's nice. The weather.
Wow,
Yeah,
snowing. Here it's the opposite.
yeah.
Absolutely hot.
I used to live in South America, so yeah.
Yeah, where at?
Cozumel, Mexico. Yeah, well,
Wow.
Mexico. Yeah.
Awesome. Did you like
Yeah.
it there?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah,
Oh,
I'll probably go
awesome.
back when I retire. Yeah,
Or maybe touring, right?
yeah, that would be nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
because today we're here to talk about your latest album, right?
Yeah,
So, Hiram, I would like you to introduce your band and tell us a little bit about your latest album, Need Hugger. Yeah, is that right?
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Okay, great.
yeah. The band's Thousand Year War. We've been around since 2008, and our first album was Tyrants and Men, and we did that with a drummer from Marduk. Um, that was a great album, and now we're got this EP coming out and self-released. Last album was on Sadist Records out of Indonesia, and so yeah, this was 5 songs, and it's based on a lot of Nordic mythology, anti-Christianity.
Awesome. Yeah,
So,
that's what
yeah,
I read about. So, I also read that you guys are an Alaskan bass band, right?
yeah, we're one of the first bands to record their death metal, black metal, and actually put out an album. There's not very many metal bands in Alaska, which is weird
Yeah.
because it's
The
I mean
weather,
it's
it's
it's conducive to all those sort of things, but
yeah,
there was only a few of us there. So
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, and that's why I wanted to ask you how the unique Alaskan environment and culture has influenced the band's identity.
Oh, I think that's pretty much encompasses all of the band's identity. I mean, when I was writing music, I was living out about 30 miles outside of a town, isolation, and that's all you had to do is play music. So it's similar to these guys in Norway, Sweden, especially Norway. A lot of those guys are super isolated, and that's all they have to do is write music. So yeah,
Awesome. And do we see traces of these influences in your latest album, Nidhogger?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I grew up. I started listening to a lot of Scandinavian black metal at around 16 years old. So huge influence.
Great. Um, I would like us to tell us about the inspiration behind choosing Nidhogger as the album title and how it reflects overall the theme.
I would say the whole theme is primarily based on the Viking underworld, and the dragon Needhogger. I created the whole artwork, or I didn't create it. I had the concept, to the artist, and that was kind of the whole. It's the whole theme, I guess you would say. Is that Norse mythology, and I wanted to kind of center it more around the underworld rather than what most themes go. Um, a
Like maybe
little bit
about the gods and
Yeah,
Odin
about the
and
gods, the
Thor.
mythology. I wanted
Yeah.
more about like the feelings of how they thought about the underworld, and it wasn't, it was kind of more complicated than what people think. It's not black and white like Christianity.
Yeah,
So
because what I understand, correct me if I'm mistaken, that in Norse mythology, the underworld, it's also like something good that happens because it gets rid
yeah,
of all like the chaos and like sorry, bullshit that's happening around, right?
Yeah. And I like that because it matches up just to our daily lives. There's not necessarily, not everything is necessarily just as good and evil, you know, and the Norse afterlife, how they looked at it was fairly, nobody was just going to hell or anything like that.
Yeah, that's very interesting, because in Christianity, right, they always make feel guilty, you know, like they make
Yeah.
feel that there's only good or evil. And, you know, as human beings, I agree with you that Norse were very, you know, advanced, talking about
Yeah.
like human kindness, you know, that you're a human and you can sometimes act, you know, not very good, but that doesn't make you evil, right?
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of it is centered on the fact that there's, you know, there's this place, you know, that exists within the Norse mythology that's for everyone, not just the good or the bad, but people that have been kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I love that about it. And that's why I think uh, one of the songs that talks about Christ, right? That all this, you know, oh, like victim figure.
yeah,
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about the
that's,
titles you chose for your songs?
well, Hammer to the Heart of Christ. I grew up with a very strong Christian background, and I felt very disillusioned with that around probably 18 or 19 years old. I was still listening to a lot of black metal, and then I finally gave up on it because you couldn't question it. You couldn't, you know, if you didn't believe everything that they said, you were an outcast. And so I feel I wrote Hammer to the Heart of Christ to, you know, kind of embrace. I don't really, you know, I'm an atheist, but to embrace, you know, my background, you know, where I came from, and the fact that, you know, we have that Scandinavian heritage, and to celebrate it and not be ashamed about it. And so I felt like Christianity was teaching us to be ashamed of that and to abandon it. And I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I totally
So
agree with you. That
it's
that's great.
it's the same thing, you know, in Cozumel, I noticed I've been to a lot of the Mayan ruins and everything. And there's this thing where they want to distance themselves from that culture and not truly embrace it, want to forget about it, which is
Yeah.
sad. But there's still a lot of people trying to save it. And I think that's what the early black metal scene did, is it tried to save a lot of the that heritage that we have through all that.
Yeah, and I think that the album overall embraces like getting in touch with the roots that all the like tribes and all over the world, not only Vikings, you know, as you mentioned,
Yeah,
Mayans, Incas, etc., you know, were very fun, like to communicate within themselves and the nature, right?
yeah, exactly. And there's been a big revival of even Native American bands here. We just we just went down and saw, oh shoot, Black Braid in Denver, and they're all focused on Native American mythology and everything, and it was amazing. So it's not just Viking culture. I happen to do that just because that's my heritage, but you know, I really appreciate that everybody is, and they're even they're doing Mayan sort of bands now in Mexico and everything. They're black metal, so that's really neat that it's not just uh, Viking culture or Viking mythology.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. Okay, so now we're going to discuss about the instrumental aspects about your album. Okay, how did you aim to capture the essence of the album's theme?
I think a lot of it comes in waves. It does, you know, I'll record, you know, on this next album, I've almost not finished it, but I've got 7 or 8 songs, and they just came within months. And sometimes it's taken years. I'll just sit down and play guitar, and a lot of it's just to do with how I feel that certain day or how the weather is sometimes. And I'll just start playing. I'll just start putting in the drum beats and start playing and see what comes together. And I'll write one guitar line, and then I'll do the second guitars, and then I'll start doing the keyboards, and then I start thinking about the vocals, So it's kind of by myself, it's an elaborate process, and I work a little bit with the drummer in the final process, but he's, I'm not physically here with him at this moment.
So right now you're a two-piece band, right? Two members.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's from Midwest, I think Alabama. And so I send all my stuff to him, and then all that goes to Sweden, and we work with Dark Productions out of Sweden, and he's doing SAD and some other projects. But I've been working with him for nearly 8 years or so, roughly.
Wow. And tell me about it. Are there any musical influences that shaped, the sound of Nidhogger?
Yeah, absolutely. I like Falkenbach a lot. The German band, and I think that was a big thing. And also there's some non-metal influences. I was playing a lot of Elden Ring, and the soundtrack, not the soundtrack, but just the music and everything they had in that game really inspired me. I thought it was pretty neat. So yeah, it's definitely not all metal, and I find I listen to a lot of non-metal stuff outside of playing music.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
And what are the band's expectations for the reception of your album? Can you share any feedback?
This one I feel like is just to put out there to as a kind of a prequel to this next one we're doing. So we haven't really. It was a pretty quick follow-up. We did a full length, The Goddamn Lord, on Sadist Records. So, it's pretty close after that. So I'd like it just to kind of be the opening theme to our next full length here. So kind of sets the tone of what we're doing and everything, because our first release was more aggressive and monomarth, thrashy sort of style, and this is more atmospheric and a lot different.
It reminded me a little bit of Mayhem. It has like this, like kind of cozy feeling, like almost listening your neighbors, like very homey.
Yeah, we want that. I want it to be relatable, and also have that pleasant atmosphere, but it's also evil, So.
Yeah.
But this next one will be a lot more centered around that atmosphere and everything. So, and more of the chants, the vocals are the chanting vocals and everything. So the clean vocals. As I get older, the less I want to do heavy vocals. So I'm even thinking about having my son do the harder vocals on this next album, so I can concentrate on the cleaner vocals.
Wow, is he a musician too?
Yeah, he's slowly getting into it. We'll see if he gets good enough, we'll have him on there.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
So, and it'd be cool if we ever did live music, I could take him along. So
yeah, actually, that's what I was going to ask you right now. Are there any plans for live performances?
Not really. If we did anything, I'd like to do something, in the summer for a couple weeks, maybe around the US, start off in Denver. Denver has a pretty good black metal, death metal scene, so we could do that. It's just a matter of getting all the musicians. I don't think the drummer would be a hard thing, but finding a couple more guitarists and everything is complicated. So, and you're never making a bunch of money, so you're gonna be working for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I make a
So,
lot more money than my real job. So
would you like to come and play in Latin America?
oh, I would love to. I mean, that's number one on the list. The Indonesia, the label that took us on, it seems like the fans are so good. They're as good as, you know, Latin America. I've gone down to central Mexico and just been able to, you see all these DIY shops and everything. I mean, your guys' metal scene is so much better than the US. It's not even
Yeah,
comparable.
that's true. You know, like some years ago, I went to the US and I went to many different cities, and like metal and rock scene is really, you know, downwards. It's
No, it's very
pretty sad. Yeah.
and that's what I was telling you about Alaska. I mean, we weren't able to even we had this label and everything and good drummer and all this. And I mean, and to play, there wasn't really any place to play. I mean,
So you guys should move to Latin America.
yeah.
Here people is crazy about that.
Oh, it's much easier. People are collecting actual physical albums and all that. So I noticed that a lot. All of our friends, they still had physical CDs and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
It's
mean,
like
I have 200 of them from this last release, and most of them I'm just giving away, and I know that they're not going to play them. They're just going to end up sitting around. So
send
well,
it
I
over
mean,
here.
they don't have people don't have CD players here.
No, people here have even cassette, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I know. So, just some people just have it in their car. They'll tell me, you know, I'll give them a copy and they'll be like, well, I still have a CD player in my car, so I can put it in there, which is cool. But
yeah,
at home, no, not so much.
not anymore.
No,
Okay,
not like it used to be.
Hiram, is there anything else you would like to share about the album, the band, or any message?
Well, I'd say look out for this next full length and enjoy this one. I mean, the artwork was just absolutely fantastic. German artist Timot Kokot. I'm probably messing up his name, but fantastic work.
Yeah, I love the artwork. The
Yeah,
cover,
now
it's amazing.
enjoy that. Take it, you know, download it as much as you want. We'll probably do some. I'd like to do some T-shirts on it and get those out there so people can have those. And we'll see about a physical release. I don't know if it'll happen with this one, but if it does, it does. If it doesn't, I don't really care.
And so, can you give like a message to Cultura en Peso and to all of the Latin American fans or people that is or will be interested in your music?
Oh, man, I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I mean, the fans that we have throughout, you know, not just the US, but around the world, you guys keep us going. That's what makes me really happy. And to see that, I can't thank you guys enough for your support. I mean, it means a lot. It adds up. You know, you get one fan and then you have them for 5, 6 years, 10 years, and it means a lot. So thank you.
Great.
Yeah, thank you for actually having a good metal scene. keeping it going. I mean, seriously. It's awesome.
Great. And to end, I'm going to ask you some fun questions. If you could play anywhere in the world or maybe outer space, where would it be? Play live.
Oh, Iceland.
Yeah?
Sorry. I'd love to play your country, but Iceland.
Latin American fans are going to get angry at
you. That's just because I want to just hang out in the hot springs and do mushrooms.
Okay, awesome.
No, but I'd love to play that, you know, South America. That's the number one right there. Yeah.
And if you could travel in a time machine, where would you like to, in what era would you like to play?
That's a good question.
Bronze Age, no?
Yeah. Probably around, you know, 900 or 1,000. somewhere around that. But you know, we wouldn't live very long. People only live to be in their 30s, so I would already be dead.
Well, that's true. That's true.
But yeah.
Okay, can you say bye, Cultura en Peso? Nice.
Bye, Cultura and Peso. Thank you.
Thank you, Hiram. It was
Yeah,
a pleasure having you.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
hope and I also encourage all Latin American viewers and fans and soon to be fans to listen to your new album because it's amazing.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And I wish you luck in everything that's upcoming with the album. I hope to see you in Chile soon.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, hails. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks so much.
Okay. All right. Bye.
And bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.